Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, and welcome back to Sleeping Beauty from Stamperia. This is the first of probably several projects with this paper. These projects are for Scrap and Create. There is a link down below where you can purchase supplies, and a link down below to the cutting guide for this project as well. I mentioned it in a previous video, I have two 12x12, two 8x8, and two 6x6. In this project, we are working with the 12x12 and the 8x8, and we are also working with the wooden shapes, these, and I have the die cuts and some rice papers that we will also get to, but I showed you specifically which ones in the last video. Okay, speaking of the last video, I'm going to set these aside because we're not going to work with these just yet. Well, sliding. Okay. So we finished this page assembly. We finished this page assembly. This one, however, we still have to do this side. So let me move those to the side. So in this case, we have a full flap, and I have chosen the mats. And what we had when I left you was this was plain, and I added a pocket, and I wasn't even thinking, and I just put it down, forgetting that you weren't watching. So there is a measurement for it in the cutting guide. It is 3 by 9. Score it at 1/2 inch on 2 short sides, 1 long side. Put it on the right side of the page. Okay, and then this was a scrap, so I'm using that for the front of the pocket. And I am just, this one I inexplicably cut slightly small, but it's going to be fine because it kind of just blends in with the background anyway, so I think we'll be fine. So let me go ahead and put these down. And I am going to be using some coffee dyed paper in the 2 sewn signature sections, I think. And I have finished with that. I'm making it, the coffee dyed paper that is, and it's been drying for 24 hours or so, and it's just about dry, but I do like to iron my paper, my coffee dye and tea dye and avocado dye paper. Not always, but usually. And I forgot I don't own an iron because when I moved, I'm sorry, I'm trying to find my baby wipe. Here it is. When I moved, my iron was just so old and grubby that I just threw it out. They're pretty cheap, and I figured when I needed one, I would buy one. So I'm coming up on a year in my new house, and I'm just now getting around to needing an iron. So I ordered one on Amazon for same-day delivery, and it'll be here later today. And I'll be able to get that paper ironed. Now, the paper that I'm using, I will link it, is a 11 by 17. It needs to be that size in order to be folded in half and be the right size. This is 11 by 17, 30-pound hammer mill. I will, like I said, I will link it. And I'm going to warn you right now, if you order it or you go to buy it, a ream of 11 by 17 30-pound paper is really heavy. However, I'll be able to use it in some other things. Okay, there's that. And here is this one. And as you can see on most of these pages, I am combining the 8x8 and the 12x12. And as soon as I get these mats down, I'm going to show you what I have left, which is not much of either the 12x12 or the 8x8. I haven't opened the second ones yet, but of course we still have a ways to go, so I'm definitely going to be going into those. I have a little space there at the top just because I made the pocket, and I just want to tell you, because I'm giving you the measurements for the pocket as 9 inches, because that is the measurement. But you know what, I think maybe when I make the cutting guide, I'm going to make it 8 7/8, because you don't really want that pocket going all the way up into the fold here. It'll just make it too hard to make that flap come over. So I'd rather have a little gap there than have problem turning the pages or flapping that flap. Just be very careful with a lot of these papers, actually maybe even all of them. There's so much text, you know, try to avoid getting it in upside down. Oops, I think my iron just arrived. Yep, my iron has arrived, and if I leave that notification in there, you will hear that Alexa doesn't have my name right. I need to fix that one of these days. Okay, gorgeous. Okay, there we go. Okay, I'll get the other 2 pages. Alright, so that one's going to go like that. We still have to do whatever decoration we're going to do on that. That one's going to go like that. We'll put something on the front of that. And that. Alright, that looks good. I'll be right back. I'm going to go grab my package. Let's keep going. So I have my big trimmer up here because I want to show you. I did some coffee dyeing for the signatures, and I used this 11 by 17, I think it's 30-pound paper from Hammermill. Hang on, let me check. It's 32 pound. I'll link it down below. Now, this, you have to have 11 by 17 to get 8 by 6. You know, the smaller sizes just aren't going to do it. So, I'm going to, after you dye it, and if you don't know how to dye it, all I do is I make a cup of coffee, just use my Keurig, make a cup, pour it into a cookie sheet with a rim, like a half sheet pan, and then I use about 1.5 cups of water, like the same cup that I made the coffee in, and dump that in to dilute it. And then I just dip the paper in, take it out, put it on a rack, and then I just make stacks, and then I put it in my oven with the light on until it's dry. And then I iron it so that it's not quite as wrinkly. If it wasn't so rainy here, I would dry it outside, but it's too rainy for that. So once you've done that, fold them in half. You do not have to be fussy about it. You're going to be cutting a lot of the edges off. Okay? So let me show you how to cut this down. Now, this is not going to be the final size. 6 by 8 is our page size, but I'm about to show you what we're going to do after that. Anyway, okay, so take your fold, put it up against the stop on your trimmer, and trim off one side, one short side. It doesn't matter, an inch, inch and a half, 2 inches, half inch, whatever you want. Turn it so that now your fold is to your left, and the side you just cut is against the stop. Put that at the 6-inch mark on your trimmer and trim. Okay. Now this side hasn't been straightened out, so take and turn it this way so the fold is back up against the stop. The side that you've already trimmed is here, and put that at the 8-inch mark and trim. Okay? So now you've got a piece just the right size. Okay. Okay, and that's actually not one that I used. And you need, if you want the same size as mine, 19 of those. 18 of those. I think. Yeah, 18. Okay, so here's our first page that we made. Here is this piece that we made, and you can see I've put it together, but I've already trimmed this one, so I'm going to set it aside. So there's that. Here's the next page that we made, and here's the signature that we're going to be working on. And I have no idea why I put that paper trimmer away, because we need it. Hang on. Alright, now if you have a paper trimmer that is strong enough to cut through all these layers in one shot, more power to you. I do not. Now, our finished size of our pages, if you remember, is 6 inches. And these are 6 inches. But we are actually going to trim them down. I made them 6 and trimmed them down because it's just easier for me that way, and I think it'd be easier for you. So, let me just show you. Okay, so you can see all this stuff sticking out. That drives me crazy. And it's because they're nested into each other. Okay, and I just don't like the way that looks. I want them even. The other thing that we have to take into account is that these pages are going to go over the hinge and down almost into the spine. These are going to sit on top of their hinge. So that's going to bring them up 1/4 of an inch. So I want to take 1/4 of an inch off of these. So we're going to trim these down, but not all to the same size. We're going to do them in groups. So I'm going to start with the cover, and I'm going to trim this to 5 3/4. Okay. Just like that. Then I'm going to take the first group of the coffee dyed papers, and there's 3. There's 3 sheets between each colored section. So I've got 3 pieces. They're nested into each other, and I'm going to cut these to 5 3/4. Oops. Okay. That's a little bit of a struggle for my trimmer, but that's okay. All right, so then those are going to go in here. Okay, that's fine. Now if I have a little bit hanging over, I'm fine with that. I just don't like a lot. Okay, so now we have the next group, which is going to be a pattern sheet and 3 more sheets of this paper. So I'm going to do the pattern sheet first. And this one, I'm putting this is the folded side. So I'm putting the folded side. We just did 5 3/4. We're going to go on your trimmer to halfway between 5 3/4 and 5 1/2, which is 5 5/8, right? Yeah, 5 5/8. But I don't have that line on my trimmer, so I'm guesstimating. Okay, so there's that one. And then we're going to take these, which are the 3 dyed pages that go with it. I always want to make sure everything is tightly together. Put it at the same spot, halfway between 5 3/4 and 5 1/2, which is 5 5/8. Okay. And that is going in here. And then this is going in here. You can see they're lining up pretty well. I mean, we're eyeballing, so at least I'm eyeballing because I don't have any lines. Okay, and then for the third group, which starts with this piece, we are going to trim this one to 5 1/2. And this time I do actually have a line. Okay. There's a pocket in there, and that's why it was a little bulkier right then. And then, again, we're going to take this one, really wreaking havoc with my sound every time I tap those. Okay. And then, whoops, 5.5. That one. Okay. And if you have a cat, they will have a field day with those. Okay. So then that is going to go inside here. Like that. Okay. And I've got it sticking out a little bit at the top because it looks like they are not lined up. Hang on. I feel like I've got one that's just a little tall. Let me see. Oh, well, yeah. Okay, I don't know if you can see. I've got one that's a little bit tall there. I'm going to trim that because that's the kind of thing that will drive me crazy down the road. And if you think it's tall, like I did and do, double check to make sure they're lined up properly, that it's, not, yes, it's the right height, it's just not lined up properly. But this one is lined up properly, so it seems like it's just a little tall. I think if you look, it's not square, and that's probably why. And I don't care if it's a little short. A little short does not bother me. That's why I didn't bother measuring, I just eyeballed it. Because if it's inside, it's fine. Yeah. Perfect. Okay. And this is going to go inside here. And in the center. Okay. There we go. Now, let me get rid of these. So, let's see. I'm trying to remember my order here. Okay, so that is the third page. This is the first, second. Okay, there we go. You can see we've got a lot happening now, and you can see that these stick out more, but that when these are sewn onto their little fins, they're going to be lifted up. So let's look at this first one, see what we have. All right, so it's plain, and down the road we may want to decorate, some of these, but I'm not really concerned about it because photos and journaling and all kinds of stuff can go there. But we do want to ink. Okay, so next we have these pockets, and we need to glue those down. And we probably want a mat here, and a mat, maybe a pocket or something there. Same here. And you don't have to mat these because they're perfect places for photos. We'll just play it by ear what we want to do. And then another pocket. Okay, so let's, I'm just going to go through first, just to save us, or save you having to watch, and ink everything on both of these sets of signatures. I'm looking, I may put a little even on these pages, but I'm not sure, but I'll be right back. I'm just going to ink. All right, I am back, and I just wanted to show you I inked, and then I didn't individually ink any of these, the coffee dye papers. What I did is I just sort of held this together and inked the whole bunch around the outside edge. Okay, and this goes in here. So, forgot that one, so hang on. Just like that. And actually, I don't need any more ink. Okay. So this, okay, there, and there. And work my way through. Alright, so I don't think I'm going to put anything there. Here I need to, let me set these aside. We need to just glue these pockets. space here. Alright, so let's glue these pockets. And for that, you're just going to run a thin bead, we hope. Hang on. Sometimes when it doesn't come out right away, then it comes out in a rush. Okay. Just a little thin bead. And I don't know if you can see on camera. My corner got like chomped a little bit. That was in my paper trimmer. It's not the best, but I can't afford a new one, so it is what it is. Okay. And you don't need it. You don't need, I mean, I suppose you might if you want perfection, but. And actually, you could just do the papers one at a time. The fact that I was doing a bunch together, you know, that's my fault, not the paper trim. Okay, so there's that. That is going in there. And then these. Okay, so then these three are going in there. And those will be, so now we have this, and we can do whatever we want here. I think I do want to mat the outside. The inside, we could maybe even just mat with craft, but let's see what we've got. I know I have craft, but I don't know what I want to use for a pattern paper here. See, these are Carhartts. We don't want to use that because we featured that already, but we have this stripe, which is nice. Okay, and that's it for the other 12 by 12. So yeah, we're definitely going to be breaking into the other two pads. I don't think I would want to use that. She looks really great, but we've already featured her heavily, so I think not use that. You know where this would look good maybe? Is right inside. Yeah, let's do that. Let's put this inside. And then it can run all the way across. So, okay, so we're going to use that inside. And let me the other 8 by 8. Have I been saying 6 by 6? I do that all the time. There is a 6 by 6, but I'm talking about 8 by 8. I might not have brought it over. I only have this piece. Well, that might look nice. Let's scrap. And then we have that side with the flowers, which would also look nice and go well with that. Either of these sides would do. Okay, I think I'm going to use this on the outside, front, this on the inside, and maybe this. Well, you don't have to fully mat this at all. You don't have to mat it at all, period. And then I think maybe I'll use this on the back. All right, so front, back, insides. Now I have trimmed this down. It should be 5.5. What do I do with my ruler? It's over there. I found my ruler, by the way, in case you were wondering. Yeah, so this is 5.5 by 8. So I need 5 3/8 by 7 7/8 for all of these. And my trimmer is here. I might as well do that. I'll be right back. Okay, what I did with this one is, how does it go? It goes this way. I cut the whole 12-inch piece to 7 7/8. And then I cut 5 3/8 from this side and 5 3/8 from this side, so that I had the edge pieces. Right, so those are going to go there. there. It's a scrap. This is a scrap, and this is a scrap, and this is going on the back. And then this one, I wanted it on the front, but when I cut it, I got this little tiny bit of the horse, which is kind of annoying. I think, yeah, I'm gonna end up using this side because that would drive me crazy. I could hide it, but it would, I think, look obvious that I was hiding it. All right, let me get these inked. Now on the inside, if you saw me, if I fast forwarded, you will have seen me dithering. So I cut those, I showed you how I cut them, but I could turn them over and have that. And the only reason I'm thinking not is because this leaves so much room for photos or journaling. Okay, I'm going to stick with my original idea. You can do the other way if you want. Looks really good. To find my center here. Good. Okay. All right, that was really easy. We didn't have too much to do there. That goes there, like that. And now we have this piece, and I was thinking of putting something, this is the envelope flap, and we already featured that cake table. Maybe a cut apart or something? I don't know if there's any, oh, you know what there are? I was gonna say, I don't think there's any rectangular cut aparts, but I have the card pack. Card collection, which is what we used for this card that's inside. Or we could just mat it, or use one of the die cuts. But let's see what's in here. Let's see, we've got little ones. We'll use those in tuck spots and stuff. We've already featured that quite a bit. And that looks kind of good. This is a folded card, so we don't want that. This is horizontal. Let's see, there's a bookmark, and that's a square. Okay. we are going to use one of these. It's going to be that one. I'm always a little leery of these. Yikes. I hate the adhesive on these bags. I have damaged more paper with these things. I'm just going to cut it off. Except it's stuck down here too. Just there. It's sticky down there, but I'm not as likely to put something in it down there. There's those. We have that one. And then I also have these. These are the die cuts. Let's see. Once upon a time. I don't want to use happily ever after when he's the only one there. That says happily ever after on it, but and then once upon a time down there. Maybe that's a thought. Okay, let me set that aside. We have both of them, but they are weirdly scaled. Maybe the prince is just extremely short, but he like is shoulder height to her basically, which is a little odd. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Here we have them together. Nope, I like that better. The colors on that work better. Oh, the colors on that really work well with that. What do you think? It's a little curved. I like that a lot. Let's do that with maybe a mat behind them. Okay, so let's hold on to him. Hang on, I don't want to lose it. Put this back in here. Now that I have them together, I might want that other one. Where is it? That one. Yeah. Okay, I feel like we might want, like I said, a mat of some sort. I don't know what I have in the way of scraps that would work. Those have borders. I don't want anything with a border, I don't think. There's that. I don't want that. So I've gone through and I almost feel like I want to do maybe something collaged behind them. Okay, what I'm going to do, because I am not in a hurry and I feel like that's going to require some thought, I am going to set aside those two pieces because I know that this is where they're going to go, and we'll get back to that because it is evening after I have worked all day, and I want to be feeling refreshed and creative when I do that because it may require some thought. So that's just going to get tucked over there. And now we have this one and all of that, and actually this one here. Do we want to leave it plain or do we want to add pockets? I think we have pockets here, so I don't think we need pockets there, but I do see that I missed inking here. Okay, so I don't think I'm going to add anything there, so all of that is fine. And of course this is fine. So that's going to go there. And then, so here we have these pockets need to be glued down, and I think before I glue those down I want to decide on mats, and I feel like here I think I may just use craft here because whatever's going in the pockets is going to kind of cover it, but I need that other 8x8. Hang on. Right. I have the other 12x12 here, but I don't have the other 8x8, so here it is. So let me cut 2 craft mats for here. I think that'll be fine. Okay. And the reason I want to do these before I glue the pockets down is with pockets like this that don't have tabs, there just is not much volume, so I would have a hard time gluing mats down in there without making the mats really narrow. You can see they're going to stick out a little there. Okay, that's going to be fine. Let me do those. Oh, how long have we been going? Okay, not too long. Sorry, I just turned away while I had my glue upside down. That was a bad idea. And then we're going to do this one. Oops. That's a little bit crooked, but that's okay. Like, yeah, just need a little bit of glue right there. That corner is lifting. Whoops, okay, well that was a ton of glue. Okay, there we go. And now we're going to glue the pockets up. we need mats for the front and the back and the 2 pockets. And let me look at the 12 by 12. Get this open. I'd use that blue, but I don't think it would go very well with the burgundy. See, I already used that in the other one, but that would be okay. Maybe this, you probably can't even see what I'm looking at. Maybe this one. Okay, so I think I could probably use this for all 4 of the pieces that I need. That's why I switched to a 12 by 12. Okay, I'm going to take the top part for here and then the bottom part for the pockets. Okay, let me cut that. Oh, I don't know how big to cut the pockets. Hang on. I think they're 2 3/4. Yeah, so those are 2 5/8. 2 5/8 by 5 1/4. We'll see. Alright, so that's the front, and that's the back, and let's see. Just figuring out exactly what I need to trim. I think I just need to trim the angle, really. So I am going to, if I could find my pencil, angle. There it is. Okay. I'm just going to make a little mark there. And a little mark there. Okay, and then I'm just going to trim those. I think I'll use my small trimmer for that. So I'm just lining that up. Okay. These inked, and then I think I may stop for the night after I get these glued, and I need to go look for Jolly. You know, when you have kids and they're not making any noise, you start wondering. It's kind of how I am right now with her. It's not like her to not be here. Her sister's right at my feet. I haven't seen her for quite a while. I'm just gonna. And the last time I saw her, she was trying to get into the pantry, so I don't think she's shut in because I made sure the door was open enough for her to get out. So. Okay, now it's going to go there. Going to go there, right? Yeah. Double check. Do I have the? Yeah. Just oh gosh, got self-distracted and put that huge glob of glue. These, which should be a good fit, and they're fine. Just realized you probably couldn't see them. Okay, there is that. It's going in there. Okay, why is that sticking out? Did I add that much more volume? Or did I just not put it in far enough? I might have to trim that a little bit. Just from the pockets, it's pushing it out. Well, it's pretty good now. We'll see. We're not at the point of having to make a decision. And let's see, hang on. That one, that one, that one, that one, and then this one. All right, I think we are at a good stopping point. So, what I want you to do, I don't know if we'll do the cover next time, but I feel like we will maybe get those pages in next time. So, make your cover. I have the measurements in the cutting guide down below. I have a video for how to make a cover, so go ahead and do that. I would say don't make your hinge yet, unless you feel like you can figure it out, but we can do that together. So just make your cover, wrap it in craft. If you're using the same paper as me, I'm going to wrap mine in craft. And then next time, We may work a little bit more on these pages first, or we may put them in and then work on them one way or the other. I'm not sure, but that's where I'm at. Okay, so thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to visit Scrap and Create to purchase your supplies. This is a project for Scrap and Create, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.